Cambridge and with Sean is a Weirding Way Media podcast.
What's wrong with puppets?
Before, after, before, after, before, after.
Hello and welcome to Cambridge and with Sean, a podcast by two weird guys about the weird things that they like. Scratch that, make that three weird guys. We are back with another special guest. We got our old pal to crawl out of his dungeon join us over here on Cambridge and with Sean. Oh, wait, I need to introduce us. No, I don't. Ronnie and Mark are here.
We're here.
Along with our good pal, Dan Davis.
Woo! Hey, how's it going? Nice to talk to you guys.
Good to see you, man. Can't even remember the last time I saw you.
Ronnie, I saw not too long ago, a couple years ago. I was trying to think, Mark, the last time we saw each other in person, and it's been a long time.
I remember going to your house over, was it Dakota and something?
Yeah, by Shields, by that Target.
Yes.
Probably.
Carlita and I.
Oh, yeah.
So that was right before I moved up to the Pacific Northwest.
Right, because you were back from LA.
Yep.
But not yet up north, obviously.
Yeah, so that was like 20 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, at least.
That house was the last time that our previous guest, Jeff, and you and I, Dan, got together and recorded.
That's right. Was that AF-72?
That's right. That was AF-72. Oh my gosh, I was just looking at that CD. I still have that CD with the cutout collage cover.
Do you remember that I consigned that album at Tower Records?
That's right.
And set the price for like $500.
Yeah, that's right.
And someone stole it.
Someone stole it.
There you go. That's what you get.
They thought they were stealing something super valuable.
$500.
I love that. And then they put on that 45-minute song, and they're like, what the fuck is this? Yeah.
They slowly crept in and put it back on the shelf.
Yeah, they snuck in. Like some band sneaking their albums onto the shelf.
We got to get that on Apple Music.
So as you know, Ronnie and I generally talk about something that we've been obsessed with since childhood, generally speaking. And like our last guest, Jeff Martin, we asked Dan to pick a couple of things from his childhood that he was obsessed with. And Ronnie and I have no idea what he's bringing to the table. So this should be interesting. Hopefully, Ronnie or I have something to add to the discussion. If not, we'll just sit and listen to Dan the whole time.
I have to forewarn you, Dan, that if you bring up anything having to do with RPGs, it's just going to be stuff that I've learned from your channel.
Yeah.
I do have one gaming thing, but you guys might have some history with it.
I bet we do. I bet we do in some capacity.
And even if not, that is perfectly fine.
I went kind of back and forth. I was going to pick really broad topics.
Right.
It would be very hard to make the conversation interesting, like music.
Right. Movies.
Star Wars, you know.
Yeah, specificity is always good.
Yeah. To tell you guys the truth, I had just listened to your last or one of your previous David Lynch episodes.
Oh, yeah.
And I almost just picked 3 David Lynch movies just so I could talk to you guys about David Lynch.
That would work. We could do that. We could roll with that. Before we jump in, though, Dan, maybe you could tell the 5 people that are listening all about what you do online.
Yeah, so real briefly, I have a YouTube channel called The Dungeon Dive, and it's focused on fantasy and science fiction tabletop games with mainly a focus on games that you can play solo.
Mm-hmm.
Any kind of co-op game or solo game. There's solo RPGs and just different types of fantasy adventure games. I've been into tabletop games since the late 80s. It comes and goes. I think Mark and Ronnie, when we were hanging out most of the time, I wasn't really into tabletop games.
Yeah.
Some card games, like Magic the Gathering, that kind of stuff. Yeah. When I moved up to the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, it's just the weather up here is so conducive to just staying inside a lot. You know? So
cozy stuff.
So indoor hobbies are the best hobbies. And
yeah. Books.
Books,
Movies.
huge library of fantasy. I almost picked fantasy fiction.
Yeah.
'Cause, I read a lot of fantasy. I almost picked Stephen King.
Hey, I had a little checklist in my mind too, and King was definitely on the list.
Stephen King was on there. Yeah.
Any kind of fantasy fiction, and then I'm like, is it going to be something just totally out of left field that neither Ronnie or I expect? So who knows? Your channel on YouTube, you've got 37,000 followers?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Amazing, Dan.
It's going pretty well. There's peaks and valleys. I seem to be at this plateau right now where I'm not quite sure how to grow the channel more.
Right.
I've been kind of stuck for a while, but it's still fun. I guess the best thing about it is I'm able to do it part-time. I only work a day job 3 days a week, and I can spend 2 or 3 days on a hobby,
cool.
which is fun.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
That's kind of a perfect life in my eyes, which I think Ronnie and I have probably both attempted in our lifetimes. How can I turn this into something
Yeah.
profitable with publishing or writing or whatever? And
Yeah.
we only have valleys over here at Cambridge and Michon. So
I was going to say, what Mark and I
Once
did, we're
those
like,
peaks
what will be a great way to make a career out of podcasting is to talk about Fresno.
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 Fresno. Fresno.
Fresno.
Fresno.
Fresno.
Fresno. Fresno. Fresno. Fresno.
Fresno.
Fresno.
Fresno.
Yeah.
And our weird interests.
and adult men playing with toys.
Exactly.
Woo! I still have some of your zines, Mark. Some of the Wake Up Heavy zines.
Oh yeah, I think he sent me a picture on Facebook,
Yeah.
or somebody did.
Uh-huh.
No, it was you, and I think Jason Cooksey did as well. But I'm like, oh, I love to see that people still have them, so that's always fun. And then I look at them, the ones that I have here, and I get very sad and nostalgic too. But I don't even know if I could muster the energy to do something like that anymore. But
It's so much work. It's
Yeah.
so much. I mean, but you published some pretty well-known
Yeah.
writers, especially in the boutique fiction field,
Yes.
right?
yeah, got lucky.
Did you have Lawrence Ferlinghetti?
No, never had him.
I'm trying to think of the biggest person you got.
Probably either Wanda Coleman or
Wanda
Diane
Coleman, yep.
Wachowski
Yep,
or
Wachowski.
Fielding Dawson.
Fielding Dawson.
Fielding Dawson.
That's who I was thinking of. Fielding Dawson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a big deal.
I was poaching the Black Sparrow Press authors that I
That's
could get
right.
hold
That's
of,
right. Black
so-
Sparrow Press. Yeah, I remember we would go to bookstores and I would be looking for DAW paperback spines, and
we gotta talk
you
about
guys
that
would be
someday.
looking for Black Sparrow Press.
Yeah,
Right.
totally. Well, and that's changed now. Every time Mark and I or Jeff and I have gone to a book barn in Clovis, we're all scouring the DAW paperbacks. And
Yeah.
by the way, Dan, when you come next time, I don't know if you've gone over there, but a book barn in Clovis has an amazing sci-fi collection.
Oh, yeah. I go there every time I go to Fresno.
Yeah.
Or Clovis.
Mark and I had this theory that maybe most of that was already yours and you got rid of it when you moved up north.
No, I never sold books in Fresno. Yeah.
No?
I've sold a lot of books at half price up here in Seattle, and
Oh, yeah.
I go to half price books and I still see, oh yeah, I sold that to them. I sold that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's all I get when we go to a book barn, our DAW sci-fi books,
Yeah.
because I just love the covers.
The covers. Oh, my God.
Got about maybe a dozen of them so far, and they seem to have them every time we go, or I go.
For a long time, the book barn in Clovis had an almost complete set of Arkham House books.
Mm.
First prints of Lovecraft, Howard,
Yeah.
Mark Ashton Smith, all of that stuff. And they've been selling them off over the last 20 years. Their prices were always just a little too high, the book barn, I think, for their collector stuff.
Yeah.
They know what they have and they price it accordingly.
Yeah.
But man, it's fine. It's fine.
Although sometimes, I mean, I've found a couple of gems that slipped through the cracks and, got it for $3, and they could have charged me $12 for Splinter of the Mind's Eye, Alan Dean Foster.
Yeah.
What would I get that for? $3 or something like that? Yeah, it's so much fun. And I feel like whenever I'm perusing those aisles, I'm always thinking about you, Dan.
Looking for those novelizations. That's my big kick now.
I got this one last weekend.
Oh, yeah, Dragon Slayer.
Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, that's good.
It's good stuff.
Which I know you have because I watched your novelization video on your sister channels. So.
Mhm.
All right, well, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back with Dan's first awesome childhood obsession. Maybe it's not childhood. Maybe it's grown-up obsession. Who knows?
This is a childhood and a current love. There's a little tease.
Don't adjust the television set. Your reception's fine, but in their new suburban home, the Freeling family has tuned into something beyond our world. Poltergeist. You'll never look at your television set the same way again. Poltergeist, a Steven Spielberg production, rated PG.
All right, we're back. Dan, hit us with this first obsession.
Yeah, all right. So this is something I loved as a kid, and I still love. It's my favorite movie of all time, and that is, of course, 1982's Poltergeist.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to do this. Because on that novelization video, you mentioned a couple of times, this is my favorite movie. And I was like, oh, this would work.
The novelizations written by James Caan are fantastic. And actually, he just put out a autobiography about his life as a novelization writer.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
That's cool.
He was a heart surgeon and a novelization writer.
What?
Yeah. He wrote the novelizations for Poltergeist, Poltergeist 2, Temple of Doom, Goonies, and Return of the Jedi, which I read 100 times as a kid.
Me too. So I, of course, don't know what happened to my copy of Return of the Jedi, but that's the other one I picked up. I picked up Dragon Slayer and Return of the Jedi when I was at a book barn last time. And as a kid, I got such a kick out of this. You guys can understand this, but I knew who James Caan, the actor, was.
The actor.
So finding this name that's pronounced similarly, different James Caan, was such a novel thing for me. No pun intended, but yeah.
Hey, nice.
Poltergeist, man, there's a lot to talk about. You could start with directed, air quotes, by Tobe Hooper.
Yeah, air quotes.
It does not feel like a Tobe Hooper film.
Yeah, I know the great debate about that. Yeah.
Steven Spielberg.
I'm kind of leaning towards he did.
Yeah, I mean, I recently watched Invaders from Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You can see his Poltergeist look and feel in Invaders from Mars, but you can't deny that Spielberg's fingerprints are all over every facet of Poltergeist.
Most producers don't sit around on set for a whole shoot. He was very present during the shoot.
He was present, yeah. 1982, was that like a year after Raiders? Was Raiders like 81?
Yeah.
Spielberg was definitely busy.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely busy.
E.T. came out the same year.
Yeah.
E.T. and Poltergeist felt like they were both shot in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah.
You get the same exact housing development, the style, the atmosphere feels very similar.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite thing about Poltergeist is the house. It's, in my opinion, the most lived in feeling domestic environment ever captured on film.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like every house I grew up in. The clutter, the furniture, stuff stacked in weird places. It just has such a homey vibe to it.
It's definitely a document of the era.
Yeah.
Your formative years were the late 70s or early 80s. At least one or two of your friends lived in a place that looked exactly like that if you didn't yourself.
Yeah.
And it's so well done. The set design, the art design, it's just so accurate to that era for us.
Oh, yeah. The family, too, is such a good family. And that's something that doesn't feel Spielbergian, because Spielberg's families are always broken.
Yes.
And what is the name of the, I can't remember their last name. My mind just blanked. But the family of Poltergeist is a really loving family unit. Craig T. Nelson and Joe Beth Williams are like the perfect 80s parents. They are so awesome.
And they like each other.
They love each other.
They get along.
I know. Yeah, they get along. They joke. One of my favorite moments in the movie is when they roll a joint.
Yeah.
On the Ronald Reagan book. They use the Ronald Reagan book on their bed to roll a joint.
Love that.
The Freelings are their names.
The Freelings.
The Freelings. That's right.
Before, after. Before, after. Before, after.
And I had such a huge, and I still do, huge crush on Jo Beth Williams in this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
She's just so cute.
Totally
her
understand
laugh
that.
and smile. And yeah, she didn't go on to do very much. She did a few things in the 80s, but kind of, I don't know if she retired early or what.
I remember her from Teachers and from this.
I think she was in The Big Chill.
Yeah, and she has a very small part in Kramer versus Kramer.
Oh, does she?
If you like Jo Beth Williams, you like that scene.
Yep.
When you think of her, you think of 80s films. So
Yeah.
So did you see it in the theater?
No, I think I was just a little too young. So let's see, 82. So I was 7 years old. And,
yeah.
you know, one of the things I talk about with novelizations growing up is my parents were a little more strict than other parents about what I could see. I grew up in a very Christian household, but not an overly conservative Christian household, but it was still a Christian household. And so things related to the supernatural were kind of like, off limits, unless it was like having to do with the supernatural idea of God for some reason.
Right.
I actually don't remember the first time. It must have been at somebody's house at a sleepover, of course, where everybody watches things they're not supposed to watch, right? Because somebody's parents don't give a crap about what they do. and the thing I remember, though, is people talking about the face ripping scene, right?
Yes.
Like that was the infamous scene. Guy goes into the bathroom and rips his face off.
Yeah.
Yep.
In your mind, before you see it, you imagine it being a lot more gruesome than it really is. It's pretty cartoony.
Yeah.
It looks like he's messing with Silly Putty.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and the hands are like coming in from different angles.
It's like the Swedish Chef.
Yeah. I have a story about that I've told numerous times on my other podcast about being worried about that because I had a weak stomach as a kid. You mentioned Indiana Jones earlier, and I physically I didn't even go into the theater to see that movie. I left because I knew about that face melting scene and I didn't want to throw up in the theater. So I pretended like I needed to use the bathroom during Poltergeist as this scene approached, yet I watched it. I watched it like from the aisle standing there. I'm like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Like you say, it was kind of cheesy. So I was like, oh, okay. Sat right back down and finished the movie, you know?
Like, yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, right. And off to the races because the next movie was The Thing. You know, with all of its gore, so which
good.
didn't bother me a bit.
Yeah, because you're just a few years older than Ronnie and I, so you were probably old enough to go to the theater to see Poltergeist in 82.
Yeah. You saw it in the theater, 13 years old, and I mean, for PG, which is, I mean, this is one of the reasons.
PG-13, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And this is one of the films, along with Indiana Jones, along with
Temple
some
of
other
Doom.
Spielberg stuff that made us get PG-13. So thanks, Steven.
It's kind of crazy that Poltergeist is only PG and that Temple of Doom is PG because Temple of Doom goes hard in a lot of areas.
Yeah, ripping out of the heart.
The heart.
Yeah. Even the first one with that whole face melting stuff is pretty gnarly for a young kid.
One of the things that I love about that era of cinema is that I feel like they treated the audience with a lot more respect, that movies were made for grown-ups.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of movies today are made for kids. Even
most certainly.
The PG-13 ones.
Right.
It's so kidified. And there was this quality about 80s movies that just felt like they were making movies for adults. And they could still be entertaining, but for some reason there just felt like there was more substance to. But of course, it could be just time being the filter. You know, we forget the Howard the Duck. We forget.
Are you kidding me? Howard the Duck was almost. There were duck boobs in that movie. It should have been.
There was bestiality. That was like the only movie I've ever seen in the theater with like full on bestiality.
The fact that that's George Lucas just blows my mind. I think you're onto something though, Dan, because maybe film production companies had more trust in parents back then. They're like, listen, we know that there's some stuff in here that are going to scare the shit out of your kids, but you're there with them, right, guys? So you're going to tell your kids about this, right? You're going to be the parent in this situation, correct? I don't think that exists anymore in the relationship between what movie studios are doing and what parents are doing.
Everybody has to be concerned with what's going in. Not
Yes,
just,
exactly.
I mean, it's we could go down a whole path of what is wrong with censoring books and changing.
Oh, we're not going to do that right now, or
No, we're not. But we could, because it all wraps up into the same nonsense.
Absolutely.
Like, my kids saw this. It's like, well, you know, then talk to them about it.
Yeah, talk
Yes,
to them.
talk to them.
We grew up in a time where we would often be, one of the great things about the Goonies, right? It's like during the summer, from the time the sun was up till the time the sun was down, we didn't see our parents.
Yeah.
We were out getting into stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have so many scheduled things. I don't know. Some of these movies just really capture that.
Yeah, for sure.
Last weekend, I watched E.T. So I saw E.T. in the theater, and I watched it for the first time since that first time
Wow.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Really?
I've never seen it.
Wow.
I've only seen it twice in 45 years or whatever.
That's incredible.
And man, that movie is awesome.
It is. It's great.
I was like
One of
on the
my
verge
favorites.
of tears like the last
Yep.
40
Oh
minutes.
my God.
Oh my God, just no.
Are you kidding? That ending, the finale, like there are 5 times when I'm just losing it.
Yeah.
It keeps coming, and I'm like, God, you got to stop this,
Yeah, I
man.
know.
Yeah, no, it's a masterpiece of pushing that button.
Oh, it pushes it hard.
Yeah. And like repeatedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually haven't had that experience. Sorry to bring in contemporary stuff, but I haven't had that experience sitting down in a movie theater and having that button being pushed by the piece of art that I'm seeing in front of me. I can't remember the last time, except for recently with this new Superman movie.
Oh,
It just
yeah, I still need to
fucking
see that.
Did it? Oh my
Yeah.
God. I'd forgotten what that felt like to be so invested that you're brought to tears multiple times.
Yeah, and you mentioned the end of ET, and like the end of Poltergeist, you think it's over, right? And
Yeah.
like,
hmm
everybody's hugging, and then the real horror
Oh,
comes with the swimming pool scene
yeah.
and all of the skeletons like coming
Oh,
up.
so
and-
good.
oh man, the house just getting pulled into itself.
Love that.
Such a fantastic ending. So just so good.
You son of a bitch, you left the bodies and you only moved the headstones! You only moved the headstones! Why?
Even that giant animatronic ghost skeleton at the end, it's not even animatronic, it's just a puppet, right?
Right.
Everything about that movie is so believable and so tactile, even though you know it looks like somebody might have that in front of their house on Halloween, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's so well done. The house imploding, the pool scene, everything's so believable. Even the silly putty face. I'm on board 100% with that film.
My favorite thing about movies like that is that build-up, the discovery of the supernatural.
Yeah.
When Joe Beth and the daughter Caroline are in the kitchen, you know, the chairs are moving and
Yeah.
the drawers are opening and closing, and
Love it.
they're having fun with it. I love that they're
Right.
having fun with it. So many horror movies today, I feel like they forget about that. They talk about the threshold to adventure in the hero's journey, where there needs to be a normality established
Yes.
for the horror to have any kind of impact.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of horror movies today start with shit already bad. There's no normality.
You're bringing up an interesting point. I feel like the horror movies today don't acknowledge that there are other horror movies today.
Yeah.
All the characters seem to be like, this is new. Never even thought this could happen to me. And that's what I love about horror from the 80s. It feels like the characters in the film, there's a level of familiarity with this as part of our cultural language.
Haunted house cinema, right? That's a whole subgenre.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. So I don't know if you guys have seen the newest, I can't remember what it's called now. One of the latest Soderbergh movies,
Oh, Presence.
The Presence. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was okay. Like, I thought they did a pretty
It's
good job.
interesting.
Yeah. It's an interesting movie.
Different take on that idea.
Yep.
Yeah, I watched it with my daughter. Very deliberately paced.
Uh-huh. All shot with
Interesting.
drone cameras. So
Point of view.
point of view drone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a movie that I didn't like much while I was watching it, but it stuck with me
Mm.
afterwards.
Yeah. I can totally see that.
Yeah.
Speaking of haunted house movies, my kid and I, speaking of, watched Amityville Horror last night.
Oh, yeah.
So I have not seen Amityville Horror since the 80s. Does it hold up? Was it still entertaining?
You're talking about the first one, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about the first one. There's an ample amount of cheesiness in it, like as far as effects go. We talk about Silly Putty Man and Poltergeist, but this is like borderline low budget effects. I mean, literally, like red LED lights are supposed to scare the crap out of you when she sees them out the window. But the dread that the family is suffering still hits and works. The acting is decent enough throughout. It's a different kind of family dynamic because it's this blended family. The dad is sort of on the outskirts anyway because it's her and her 3 kids. There's not this super lovey-dovey family like in Poltergeist, which I love that in Poltergeist. This guy is on edge already. And then he just, from like the 3rd day in, he just keeps getting worse and worse. And it's like, what's the real terror here? The house or him?
Oh, right.
It still holds up. It's still one of my favorites. I have kind of a history with that. I read the book, before I saw the movie.
The book was huge. The book was monumental seller in the 80s. A true story, right?
And I know, though, it was because of the movie that I read the book, because it was definitely a tie-in version of it with pictures in it and stuff. But like you, Dan, growing up in a Christian house, it was like my books weren't monitored like movie watching would have been.
That's so weird, right?
Because I'm sure there was probably even more detailed stuff in the book than there was in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty tame movie, actually, as far as gore and violence. And there's some brief nudity a little bit, but, who knows how they describe sex scenes and this and that in the book. Guess they felt more comfortable. At least he's reading, right? So
that's the thing. At least he's reading. I don't know how many scenes in Stephen King books I read when I was in junior high where I was like, oh, my parents never read this book.
Yep.
Yeah. I know. I started reading Stephen King when I was in 7th grade.
Yep.
And,
that sounds about right.
Yeah, I might have even been a little bit younger than that. I might have been like 5th or 6th.
Our 7th grade school library had the entire J.C. Andrews Flowers and
Nice. That's fantastic. I love that.
It's about flowers.
Yeah. In the incest fiction section.
Yeah. There you go. Every junior high school should have that. I just remember, I haven't watched Amityville Horror in a long time. The image that keeps coming back to me is James Brolin's makeup as he starts to fall apart. His makeup starts to get more intense. This sickly makeup. It's just great. What is it that allows us to believe that in those films? What is it about Poltergeist that allows for believability? It's almost this intangible thing that's happening in films from the 80s. And it just could be that we grew up with them.
We grew up with it, but I think there's something more to it. And I think it has to do with that establishing the normality before the weirdness.
Yeah.
Of these movies, even though they're genre movies, they're built upon, pulp concepts. There was still a focus on the characters being human beings, and establishing them. And so when the characters are so fully established, it's much easier for us to believe what they're going through because of their reaction to it.
Yeah, for sure.
It also helps that they are all very well-rounded characters in this. Like, every kid's personality by that breakfast scene.
Yeah,
by the time you get to the breakfast scene, when his little boy's glass breaks, and then they're all separate individuals. You know who the parents are. You know who each of these kids are. That's also something that sort of gets left out of a lot of movies these days, is quickly establishing who the people are and that you care about them. And also, you like every one of them. And in so many horror movies today, we have to have like awful people.
Yeah.
I think the expectation is that you're rooting for them to die. And I still have a problem with that. I'm like, I want to feel badly for a character, actually, if they do get taken out. I don't want to be rooting like, oh, they killed Jimmy. Good. He was a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
When you think about that, it's like, if this was real life, would you be rooting that this kid got hacked to pieces by a serial killer because he was an asshole?
Yeah, they didn't even really do that in the old Friday the 13th movies.
Right.
You weren't rooting for the kids to die. The kids weren't terrible kids. You know, they had issues, but it wasn't up until like maybe the 5th or 7th one. But you know, what is it?
Right.
Jason Ford, the one with
Crispin Glover?
Crispin Glover, right?
Yeah.
All of those kids are just typical, cool high school kids.
Mhm.
You know, you don't want to see Crispin Glover die. You don't want to see anybody in that movie die. When they do, it's like, oh, that sucks.
I also hope that Crispin Glover never dies, on that note. There's something wrong with the way dialogue is written these days. Sorry, I'm putting on my old man hat right now, but like the dialogue in the films that we grew up with, for some reason, it's written in a way that's not too explainy.
Yes.
You know, dialogue now is so based on exposition. Like directors and writers don't trust their audiences at all. And that's something that I definitely miss from the films of the 70s and 80s, even into the 90s a little bit. But those films trusted their audience. They trusted, they're going to get it. They're going to understand what's going on. They're going to understand the relationship dynamics of this family just by their actions and what they say to each other. Not that they're saying, we love each other.
I love you. No,
Yeah.
A big part of that is studios and producers, though.
Yeah,
and
for
I
sure.
recently read something where a Netflix executive was like, specifically told the writer, you need more exposition.
Yeah.
Because people need to be able to understand what's happening while they are looking at their phone.
At their phone, yeah.
So if you're explaining it visually in this visual medium, for God's sake, they're not going to get it because they're going to be looking down. And it's like, oh, yeah, disgusting.
Yeah.
In my household, I try to maintain the role of the person who doesn't have the phone. There's 4 of us sitting on the couch. We're all watching the same thing. And I'm not saying I'm better or anything like that, but someone has to represent that perspective. Someone has to show like, these things are actually fun to watch. We're not listening to an audiobook. This is just stuff happening on the screen. That is very true, Mark. That's a real issue. So maybe that's why writing is the way it is now.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Would you care to dance? It's good. Oh, good.
Don't ask me to stay. Don't think you got it made, no.
Hey, how come you turned that off?
Real quick, going back to novelizations, I did want to touch upon one thing that I like about the novelization of Poltergeist, and it's actually quite a bit different. And I have a feeling that the reason that there were things different in the novelization were probably for budgetary reasons. Like they just couldn't figure out ways to film this stuff in 1982. There's a really great sequence where in the movie, the family goes to the university to find the paranormal investigators.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
In the book, the paranormal investigators find the family.
Oh.
And it's super cool because they have this van that's kind of like their Ghostbuster van. And
Nice.
they are driving around the city with these instruments that can pick up on paranormal things that are happening. And so
That's so
they
cool.
like hone in on the family's house. And they show up to the family and knock on their
Interesting.
door and be like, what the hell is going on in your house right now? And so
Yeah.
it's really cool because it adds a little more credibility to their abilities as paranormal investigators.
Yes, certainly.
They weren't
Yeah, that's great.
scammers. So yeah,
Right.
it's super cool. It's really, really interesting.
Don't they do something like that in the second movie? Don't they discover...
The second
that
movie
sounds-
is the Native American guy.
Okay, right.
The chief guy discovers them. And,
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, we got to have the other there that's
Yeah.
tuned into spirituality.
Yeah. The novelization actually, I think, treats the Native American folklore with a little more respect
There you
than
go.
the movie does. It actually
That's
gets
good.
into it a little bit more. I like Poltergeist 2 a lot. I think it's great. I also like Poltergeist 3. It was plagued by some really shitty production
Yeah.
problems, of course. Had that movie been fully realized, I think it could have been amazing. But
Yeah.
it still has some pretty good. I like all three, and I really like two. I think two's fantastic.
Yeah.
They're fun. That third one with all the mirror stuff.
All the mirror stuff is creepy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And the pool scene, getting trapped in the pool, like that's, yeah.
And when they come bursting through Zelda.
Yeah, it's like the complete rejection of the suburban life. They're like,
Right.
screw suburban life. We're moving to the city.
Yeah.
We're moving to a high rise.
Love that.
A smart building that
Yeah, the smart home.
it's going to screw us up even worse.
That's it for Poltergeist.
Cool.
We'll be right back with Dan's second amazing. I mean, I don't know if you can top Poltergeist, but let's see what happens when we come back for the second obsession from Dan Davis.
Don't just pick a movie. Choose your own adventure as you help the North family discover the secrets of the abominable snowman.
All right, we're back. Let's hear about what you got for us now, Dan.
Okay, so let's go into the world of fiction. And this is kind of a broad topic. So I wanted to pick something broad because maybe both of you have some experience with these. That is choose your own adventure books.
Ah, yes, absolutely.
No.
You never got into choose your own adventure, Mark?
No.
What?
What's Ronnie pulling out? The only experience I have is when I substitute taught.
Yep.
I saw those books and Scary Stories
Yeah,
books
Scary, yeah.
and R.L. Stein books on everybody's bookshelves. So that is literally the only experience I have with those.
Yeah.
I was looking them up this morning, and they were originally published in 1979. That's a little older than I thought. I thought they were like 82 or so.
Interesting. I totally missed that. Yeah.
I feel like when I saw them on the bookshelves as a kid, they were completely new. But I was doing some research recently too, and I discovered the same thing. I was like, oh, well, this is, everything feels new when you're a kid, right?
Yeah. 1979, originally conceived by a guy named Edward Packard.
Mm-hmm.
I was probably already reading Stephen King by then. So,
exactly. You were reading Flowers in the Attic. Come on, don't
Yes, I did read that book, actually.
worry. You were reading Clan of the Cave Bear.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Those I never got into.
Now, not to bring Superman back into the conversation, but I just read something, and I haven't done any fact checking on this yet, but apparently the actor who plays Superman, David Cornsweet in this new one, his grandfather is that guy that you just mentioned.
Is Edward Packard?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, interesting.
Something like that. I mean,
like that.
I'm going to have to do some fact checking on this, but I'm remembering that in real time right now that I read that just this past week, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
If I need to, I will have our AI assistant correct you on that or confirm it.
Wonderful.
Let me jot that down, actually. Cornsweet? Is that his real last name?
I think that's how it's pronounced.
Cornsweet.
Corn sweet.
Or Schwet.
Schwep.
Yes, in fact, Andrew Packard is the maternal grandfather of David Cornsweet.
These are works of interactive fiction, basically, where you famously, like after Choose Your Own Adventure, we had books like Fighting Fantasy and the Lone Wolf series. And these introduced more like gaming concepts where you actually had a character sheet and you had dice and you would take breaks to have combat during the books and rolling dice. The tagline for Fighting Fantasy was, "You are the hero."
Mm-hmm.
All the books were written in second person. You come across,
yes,
you do this, you do that. What are you going to do? And, you would choose your own adventure. At the end of certain passages, do you want to go left or right? And then you turn pages.
Oh, God, so much fun.
There were so many of these. The main Choose Your Own Adventure trademark series spawned countless examples. I mean, there was one set in Narnia. There was Tolkien-based Choose Your Own Adventure. There were Christian. I remember going to the Fresno Bible House. They were like, you are the Christian.
What do you do in this situation?
You are the disciple.
You are Jesus.
You are an apostle.
That's incredible. I might be jumping ahead. You might even be talking about this in a little bit. I would make sure to explore all the possibilities.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah, were you a finger marker?
I would mark the places. I would go back. I would retrace the steps. I mean, talk about getting kids to read. This was the best thing.
Yeah,
One book is like reading 10 books
or
more. I mean, just what a gift to kids.
There's one book, and I still haven't looked into it, but there was one book called Mystery of the Maya. Oh, wait, was it Mystery of the Maya or was it Inside UFO 5440? One of those books has a secret ending that at the beginning of the book in like the little rules page, it says that there is a secret ending that you can't get to by regular means. I still never discovered how to do it, how to break that, how to solve that puzzle.
So forgive me, but have you done an episode on this on your channel yet?
No, but why? So this is something I loved as a kid, but something that morphed into what I love now because so many of the games that I cover on the Dungeon Dive, I think were informed by this kind of solo gaming experience.
Exactly.
We could have some kind of interactive fiction without needing somebody to run the game.
Right. This means, though, that we've got to find that book and we've got to figure out what that is.
Or Google search it.
Yeah.
And then just know the answer.
It just said, what is the ending of Mystery of the Maya?
Yeah, exactly. What's the secret ending? It's probably right there.
There are still new game books being made today, and as a matter of fact, the game book technology, the mechanisms have greatly expanded. There's ones that are really super complex with really neat mechanisms where you write down keywords. You know, it says like, if you get to the end of a page, you don't just have a choice. You might have a third choice that says, you know, if you have the keyword trader, you can do this third thing. And they've introduced ways to, I would say, for them to introduce memory, like a video game, into the book, where it remembers the things you have done and influences your choices later down the road.
That's so cool.
I haven't read a Choose Your Own Adventure book in many, many years. I really don't have the desire to return to them. And this is something that all of us probably feel the same about many things. It's just sometimes it's best to leave things as a cherished memory.
Well, either that or the opposite, just go deep. The Abominable Snowman, I'm looking it up right now. My favorite of these as a kid was The Abominable Snowman. I have a copy of that somewhere in a box, probably. There are two categories of books that I've been wanting to reread. That's the original Ian Fleming James Bond books and the Choose Your Own Adventure books. I feel like in reading those again, it'll open up a passageway to like a nostalgia vortex in me that I haven't been opened up yet. But
so you've read the Bond book?
Yeah, when I was a freshman and sophomore in high school, I gobbled those things up. The original 10 Ian Fleming Bond books. And that's another instance of me reading things that were inappropriate. But
here's a nice can of worms tangent. I think that the only movie to really capture Ian Fleming's James Bond is On Her Majesty's Secret Service. That James Bond feels like the book James Bond.
Exactly. The actor, what was his name?
I can't remember his name.
George Lazenby?
Yep.
That movie and Dr. No both follow the books pretty accurately. The rest took a lot of creative license. That George Lazenby Bond movie is fantastic.
It's awesome.
It's complicated. It's sad. It's fun.
The action is so well filmed.
So good. And it doesn't get enough credit.
The fight scenes have real impact. Like the punches and stuff.
So true.
Better than Roger Moore? Are you serious?
Yeah, no,
oh my God.
Even more realistic than Moonraker.
The most realistic Bond movie ever.
The most realistic Bond movie.
I'm flummoxed here. I can't understand this.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
There are some things that you just don't know if you want to revisit, right?
Yeah.
I think all three of us are prone to nostalgia.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
You know, just like nostalgia in the deepest sense is like what I think it's like a Greek word, right? It was an overwhelming longing to return to your home, right?
Odysseus.
Yep. We are constantly chasing that and being drawn into it. Sometimes it's for the better and sometimes it's just like, oh man, I don't know. I don't know if I should revisit this.
I get fearful of nostalgia sometimes in that it might bring me back to difficult things in my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have found that there's a way to utilize it as a tool for learning new things that are associated with things that we attached ourselves to as kids. And then also, most significantly for me, to address the difficult things.
Yeah.
That I would have otherwise been afraid to or not think to address.
Yeah. Have either of you been nostalgic about something and then returned to it and had an overwhelming negative thing? Like where you remember loving something and you go back to like, man, what the heck was I thinking?
I have been thinking about that because with the show, I was like trying to find some different paths, something that never caught back on, or near misses or stuff like that. And I can't say that there is something that I have difficult memories associated with, and that might just be me protecting myself.
Maybe.
For me, it would probably just be certain times in my adult life that I don't want to think about. I haven't really hit on anything yet when things pop into my head like, oh, yeah, I don't think I want to go down that path.
Going back and recollecting Star Wars and Masters of the Universe, both of those journeys have taken me to some pretty difficult places. I spent a lot of time with toys as a kid by myself, and there were reasons that I've had to discover over time as pertaining to the fact that I had toys, an abundance of toys to begin with. So addressing those issues with my parents has been helpful to a certain extent, but there are certain things like Popeye, for instance, that returning to the old cartoons that I had fond memories of and realizing racist tropes and things like that. Those have been some negative experiences because you don't want that thing to be what it is.
Yeah, right.
It's a sadness, but it's also like, okay, I can move on. The moving on has been a bit of a gift when realizing there are some difficult nostalgia areas. How about you?
Yeah, usually when I do try to protect myself, E.T. was a recent example. As I said, I just recently watched E.T. because, I don't know, am I going to like that still? Another recent movie that I watched just for the second time because I wasn't sure how it would hold up. And that was Donnie Darko. And my God, does that movie hold up?
It's so good, but it's hard to watch.
The original cut, not the director's cut that he ruined. That he destroyed.
So true.
Yeah, that sometimes the director's cut is not the preferred version.
Yeah.
And that is one of those cases.
The first thing he did was, in the director's cut, was change Echo and the Bunnymen to NXS. And talk about a giant freaking mistake.
Yeah.
I love both of those bands, but they do different things. They have different roles. The songs tell different stories. So it's a big difference.
There's one director who I will not watch anymore because I don't think his movies would hold up. And those are the early Kevin Smith movies.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I tried watching Mallrats not too long ago, and I just couldn't get on board in the same way as I did when it first came out. And it could have been the hype when it first came out.
I think we were all pretty big Kevin Smith fans back in the 90s.
And I appreciate his perspective. Mark and I went to go see
Tusk.
What was the Tusk?
Oh, Tusk, yeah.
Holy shit, if that's not a remarkable effort.
Pretty good movie.
It's so weird and so much fun. But Kevin Smith's movie Red State is masterful.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that. That's like later Kevin Smith.
Yeah, it's a very different period, the later films.
Mid-career, Kevin Smith is not bad. His earlier stuff, it's a little arrogant. That's the experience I had watching Mallrats.
Yeah.
Trying to watch Mallrats. Speaking of going back and changing things, you didn't watch the revised E.T., did you? Because there is one of those.
I don't think it's available. I don't think it's really
I don't know
available.
which one is available. The only thing I had ever known about was that they had erased some of the guns and replaced them with walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
I was looking for that during those scenes.
You probably watched the original.
And I didn't notice anything. So either they did a really good job or I don't know. I don't know what's available now. I streamed it.
I think they've gone back to the original on all streaming platforms, and pretty much if you buy it,
It's
may
the original
come with
version.
I haven't seen the doctored one since it was first released, however many years ago that was. I think you'd more notice the CGI facial expressions of E.T. So if you didn't catch that...
Oh, God, they did that?
Yeah, they did that
oh,
too.
Okay, yeah, no, there was nothing like that. I had no idea they did that. Holy shit, that sounds terrible.
It is terrible. Yeah. It's an awful thing. You know, when Spielberg released that, he got a theatrical release, I believe, but then when he released it on DVD, he, against what George Lucas would do, Spielberg gave us both copies, the original film and the revised version, so one wasn't taken away from us. I'm happy to know that the revised version is not really available out there.
No.
There was no CGI on E.T.'s face.
It stood out like a sore thumb.
Oh, it would have, yeah.
It's just a lot more expressive. Like, and silly and not needed. It's like, I'm fine with it being a puppet.
A puppet, yeah. What's wrong with puppets?
Nothing.
What's wrong with puppets?
That's the name of today's episode.
That's the first album from the Fresno Ramblers.
That's right.
Oh, I thought you were doing a Jerry Seinfeld bit.
What's the deal with puppets?
What's the deal with puppets?
Two good choices so far. I hope you can top everything with this last pick.
Well, Mark, I will give you a little clue. The third one is revolving around a very good memory I have hanging out with you.
Oh.
Is it Tomb Raider?
Yes, it is.
That's awesome.
That is one of the things that was rolling through my mind when we first asked you to do that. I spent, I'm going to say this before you start, Dan, and then I'll shut up. I don't know how many hours sitting on the couch at the Flaming June house watching you play this video game.
It consumed our lives.
I'm so glad you brought this up, Dan, because I remember two distinct eras in the Flaming June house.
Mm-hmm.
X-Files
and
Tomb Raider.
Yep.
That is exactly right.
For those listening, the Flaming June house, that was the name of a band that I was in, and we all lived together. Mark, you lived with us for a while, right?
I lived when you moved out. I took over your room.
Okay.
And then, and I'm not sure for even how long that was. I'm less than a year, I think. But you preemptively moved out, I think, to save money for the trip to LA.
Probably, yeah.
Before you moved out, though, before I moved in, God knows how many hours late at night into the late hours of the night watching you, because I'm not.
You don't play video games.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I have very good or maybe it's a spatial awareness. I can throw a ball into a bucket or whatever, but I cannot manage controlling a video game. Just can't do it.
Yeah, so Tomb Raider came out like 96.
Sounds right.
I think we had, up until then, most of our experiences with video games were 2D, Nintendo. And I got out of video games for a while, Street Fighter, like more fighting games. But then the PlayStation came along and changed everything for me. And I remember I got the PlayStation for Christmas that year. I didn't even ask for it. It was a weird gift my parents gave me. Here's a PlayStation. I was like, okay, I guess I'm back into video games now. And I think one of the first games I bought was Tomb Raider. And yes, I remember I got to the house where we were all hanging out and put that game on. That first night, Mark, it was you, me, my sister, and Colin.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Colin.
Yeah, Colin. Yeah, I played that game for like 6 hours or something that first night. And all three of you, it was like watching the best movie we had ever seen in our lives.
Oh, man.
Just being absolutely stunned at the freedom of movement and exploration. And I was relying on you guys as like my co-pilots to like, what about that over there? Or remember that switch back there? And
that's so cool.
We would schedule times like, okay, are you going to play tonight? Well, I don't know. I can. Tomorrow I have to work. Okay, well, we'll start Thursday. Like, we played the whole game. I think you played the whole game with me.
I can imagine that definitely went through it at least one time completely.
I love that.
I mean, hours. It was
hours.
It would be hours.
Uh-huh.
Watching somebody else play a video game. And it was glorious.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was so much fun. I remember specifically, let's see, you were working at Walden Book at that time.
Oh, yeah.
I was working at El Pollo Loco.
Yeah.
You called me during the day because you had gotten in the player's guide or whatever.
Oh, huh.
And like we were stuck on something, and you said, "Well, I looked it up in the guide, and I know how to get past
That
this."
totally
part."
makes sense.
Funny. How funny.
So that's like a core memory
That's so funny because I don't remember that at all, but that's amazing.
in my head. And after Tomb Raider 1, next few years, every November, the next Tomb Raider would come out, and I would bring my PlayStation over to your apartment because you were living in that apartment. And we would just kick back and hang out together and play Tomb Raider. And probably take breaks and watch some Argento movies or something.
Yeah.
That was like during that time when Anchor Bay was finally able to watch a lot of those Giallo movies, and a lot of the Italian zombie movies were finally coming out in like good copies that weren't shredded by censors or weren't pan and scan, and those were just some really fun times.
Probably available to rent at Tower Video, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I remember first seeing those Giallo films showing up on VHS, finding them at Tower Records, and just being blown away by the fact that this is right around the same era where the production of DVDs is spearheading this movement to include special features and give you widescreen. VHS was riding the coattails of all of that. So many films were just suddenly available that were never available before.
Never available.
And so many of those movies were watched right there in that Cambridge and Washon apartment complex, most of the time in Mark's place.
That Tomb Raider, I got to tell you, Dan, that was some of the most fun I had back in the late to mid-90s.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I mean, I keep repeating it, but I think it's just because most people would think it's odd that watching somebody else play a video game could be so enthralling.
So good.
And it would be literal hours.
There's people making millions of dollars a year now playing video games on YouTube and Twitch. And people just watching people play video games.
What's it called? Yes. Walkthrough or something like that?
Or let's plays and walkthroughs.
That is very true.
Why do you like watching people play video games? And I often tell them, like, well, we used to get together.
Yes.
Like a freaking TV show. And somebody would be playing and other people would just be watching. Like, this isn't some new phenomena that has been birthed because of the internet. Now people are just making money at it, you know?
Yeah.
It's fun to watch a cool thing.
And this is nothing new. I mean, this is surprising. I mean, I remember watching my older stepbrothers play Atari and just watching Pong, watching them play it and being like, oh, feeling the tension.
Yeah.
That same thing happened when Nintendo pushed the boundaries and opened up all these worlds, Super Mario, and, sitting watching people play was just as much fun as playing yourself. Sometimes more fun.
Sometimes more fun because you weren't frustrated by the controls if you were just watching.
You're yelling at your brother or yelling at your friend, like, do this, do that. And the involvement in that interaction was a lot lot of fun.
Plus, it was social. Remember Paul McEntee?
Oh, yeah.
Buddy Paul? Like, man, we used to just sit and play Final Fantasy. Literally for hours. One of us would play and one of us would watch.
I love that.
That's why I find it really odd that there are some people today that are like, well, I don't like, why would anybody want to watch somebody play a game?
It's like watching sports. I mean, it's really, and when I think about it now and you saying those things, it's like, well, it's like watching your favorite sports team. You're not playing the game.
You're not, exactly.
Why wouldn't you just go play tennis?
Go play tennis if you like it so much.
Exactly.
Mark, you used to dress up like Laura Croft, wearing your Laura Croft jersey while we were playing.
Oh, man. Imagine Mark as a cosplayer.
As cosplayer, yeah.
You mentioned your sister Melanie and Colin, and I think the three of us were like the hangers-on. We're typically the three that lasted the longest. If anybody else was there, they faded out after a while and went and lived normal lives and had girlfriends and stuff. And the three of us would sit there and watch Dan play for hours and hours. And that is so funny that you mentioned that, because just about every time I think of you, I think about sat for hours, days on end, watching this guy play a video game.
Yep.
Yeah. That's something else.
Yeah, it really is one of my most cherished memories is that specific few months at that house. Even though Tomb Raider is a single player game, playing it in a social environment is what made it really special. Yeah. And it's why to this day, that's my favorite game of all time. Not because the game is so great. I still think the game is pretty good, but it's that time. It's that all the things that were going on in our lives at that time. Yeah. There was a lot of really cool things. And so I think that's one of the, the powers of having these shared experiences with friends. Yeah. They aren't just things, right? I mean, your toys aren't just these hunks of plastic, books aren't just dead trees bound in cardboard. It's like the things that we associate with everything we enjoy is what makes them special to us,
That's exactly it. And that's why...
That's the point of this show right there. He just said, if we've never articulated it very well, Dan just did for us. So
yeah, exactly.
That's why we all love physical media, right? Yeah. It's like you can go to your shelf and pull off a book and remember the time that you read it.
Yes, absolutely.
Or discovered this author and the feeling of like, oh, well, this really hits with me as you're halfway through a book or a movie or whatever it is.
Yeah. I mean, Laserdiscs. Like, Mark, my first experience with the Laserdisc was with you. I think the first one we watched, I think it was either The Exorcist or Taxi Driver. And I don't remember which one. It's probably Taxi Driver.
Yeah, because that was one of the first that I had.
Yeah.
My first Laserdisc experiences with Mark with Taxi Driver. Maybe, Dan, you were there for that.
That might have been, yeah.
That was a big... I mean, because Laserdiscs weren't new.
Oh, they were already like 10 years old by that point.
Those video disc things that you shove into the machine. And the fact that you could see the disc and put it into the player like a record and the clarity... Like that clarity was just mind blowing. And we're just sitting in a studio apartment in Cambridge and Washawn, watching it on a regular TV.
On an old ass tiny square TV. Yeah.
It still felt like, oh my God, we're in the movie theater. The clarity is remarkable.
And the revelation of, like you mentioned with DVD, so this was pre-DVD still, and I always thought, boy, this would be great if these were the same size as CDs instead of an LP.
Yeah.
A lot of them, because of how much... Yeah, a lot of them because of how much information was on them, you had to flip.
Yep.
So they weren't even one disc. I know for Taxi Driver specifically was a 2-disc.
Yeah.
And you had to flip. So it was basically 4 sides to fit all the information on there. But just the revelation of, oh, this is how this guy intended me to see it. Or this woman, if it was a female director, not pan and scan, not edited for TV, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That was my first introduction to that concept of like, oh, well, this is how I want to watch all movies. Why aren't they sold like this? Why isn't all VHS like this? Why don't they show them on TV like this?
I don't know if people realize what a huge change letterboxing was to home video releases.
No.
I don't know if people realize how we used to watch movies where we weren't even seeing the full picture.
Yeah.
I will never forget the moment that I saw the Harry Dean Stanton's scene in Alien when he's in that giant room with all the chains
hanging
and the
down.
water dripping.
Yeah, the water, yeah.
I had no understanding of the depth of that room until I saw it on widescreen, and it was revelatory.
And there were people that didn't like it. The black bars. The black bars. It's not
What's wrong with my TV?
Remember that? People complaining about the black bars. They thought it
happens though. It still happens. Now it happens when something is presented as in its original format that was square.
That's square. Like, I have black bars on the side now.
So now
black bars
with
on
the
Simpsons.
All right, we're going off on a tangent here, but The Simpsons is a good example of this, where they were presented as they were originally made square, roughly square. And then, is it Disney Plus that has it?
Yeah, Disney Plus, yeah.
Changed the aspect ratio. So now you're missing the tops and bottoms of the image because people didn't like
They zoomed in on a 4:3. Oh my God.
They do it on a lot of shows.
So now it's panning and scanning up and down.
Well,
it's not left to right.
It's just static. It's just
static. You can tell the difference, especially in The Simpsons, because you can practically see the paintbrush.
Oh, yeah, because
it's so...
the resolution isn't high enough.
Yeah,
exactly.
right. It's not the correct. So they do this with a lot of shows. We watch Murder, She Wrote, and on one of the channels, they've done that. They have turned it into a rectangle, and I'm like, why are you? And kind of motion smoothed it as well.
That's the worst.
They may have AI treated it.
Yeah.
Because it's like way too smooth. I'm like, what in the fuck are you doing? Just show it square. People need to figure out that there are different aspect ratios for different. Okay, old man tangent over for me.
No, I know.
I'm going to follow up the old man tangent with this. It's got to be somebody from our generation that finally gets around to making a movie that's solely pan and scan. No one's
like deliberate
pan and scan. It's bound to happen eventually.
So they shoot it widescreen, and then they go in, they crop it, and then they move.
It's going to be Wes Anderson's next movie.
I remember the early days of film forums online, and people called it a pan and scam.
Yeah,
I'm not going to watch that pan and scam copy.
Love it.
Oh, old man talk.
Yeah, it's funny though. Aspect ratios is one of those things that people just don't understand,
and still to this day.
Every time I put in a old Filmation Masters of the Universe cartoon, I got to go to the aspect ratio, change it so that it's correct. So I have the black bars on each side of this widescreen TV. It's a journey in itself. It's exciting to be able to have that option.
Yeah.
It still bothers me to this day. Every once in a while, we're trying to find a movie to watch, and the only place to watch it is on this specific channel or whatever. And we start watching it, and I check IMDb, check the aspect ratio, and I'm like, this is supposed to be fucking widescreen. I mean, it's wider screen than our old TVs because it's fit into a 16:9 frame as opposed to a 4:3 frame. But I still grumble like, God damn it, this is supposed to be widescreen. Why is a cable channel doing this?
Yeah, especially when they have access to all of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you guys, kind of related. What do you do if you go to a friend's house to watch a movie, they show the movie, and you realize that they have the motion smoothing turned on their television? Do you
walk the fuck out is what you do.
Tell them? Do you tell them, or do you just let it go?
See, I haven't had that experience with a friend, but when my sister, they seem to have it on sometimes when they first get a new TV, and I'm like,
Yep.
Luckily, though, my nephew is very much like me.
He knows.
So he knows now, like, he wouldn't let that go for more than 2 minutes. He'd be adjusting it. Our first HD TV, we brought it home, and I'm like, why does this look like a
why does it look like
opera?
Yeah, exactly.
And so then I had to find, for every TV brand, it's different. It's either motion smoothing or it's like a game. You know, you can adjust it for playing video games. And it was that setting for our Vizio. And now it seems like when we bring them home, it isn't set like that.
It's not cranked up to 10. It's like...
Yeah. You walk through a Costco, though, and when all their TVs are playing, they all are set that way. It's like a factory setting.
People think that that's how HD looks.
Yeah,
right.
It's supposed to be smooth.
No. It is not supposed to look like a soap opera.
What's really great about getting older is that the only friend whose house I'm going over to watch a movie at is Mark. There are zero other social options for me, so I know that where I'm going is going to be a safe place.
Yeah, we'll have it set up properly.
Yes, exactly. It'll be set up properly, and if it's not, I'm going to hear it, and we're all going to notice, and it's going to be, we'll just fix it.
True. This is true. Yeah, like friends. I don't go over to friends' houses.
We don't do that anymore.
What are those? What's that?
And for family, if that's happening on their TV, the best thing to do is just turn a blind eye.
It's hard, man.
Yeah, it is.
Just turn a blind eye.
It's an assault on the eyes.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So Tomb Raider, that was it. Those were really, really fun times.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree.
I remember those times so fondly. And just Tomb Raider was such a neat game. And I think it just tapped into Gen X completely with its embrace of Indiana Jones and that kind of adventure that is so prevalent in so many of the things that we enjoy, right? That sense of adventure.
Yeah.
That sense of discovery, of finding new things. And yeah, thanks for letting me share these things with you guys.
Yeah, good choices. I think about those days often, actually, and the other stuff that went on there, playing ping pong in the garage.
Oh man,
and all
ping pong
kinds
in the
of other
garage.
things.
Yeah. Yep.
And like we mentioned with Jeff, that is Cambridge and Washon, period, for me and for Ronnie around the same time. We lived in those places separately and then at the same time, and it was all 96, 97, 98, 99.
A remarkable era. A lot of good memories. I feel like every week there was something new to discover. What was great about our little troop of friends was that if one of us discovered it, we were sharing it with the other, we would all get on board and all get excited about it.
Yeah.
And sharing that with a tight-knit group like what we had, the rest of the folks have gone on and they're doing their thing, and we can talk to Jeff and we can talk to you, Dan, and it's like no time has gone by. I think that that's amazing.
Yeah.
We're very lucky to have had those years.
Yeah. It's good to have interesting friends.
Yeah. Yes, that's very true. I'll take a train up to where you live and watch you play Tomb Raider now, even. So.
Yeah. That's going to be a beautiful train ride, I'll tell you.
Ride, yeah.
Yeah. A long train ride, but...
But hey, also, if you guys ever want to do another episode on David Lynch, like a top 3 David Lynch movies, let me know.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
That's really good idea.
We'll be exploring more, but we can always do a companion piece.
You guys have only done up through the 80s?
Yeah. But I like that idea too, Dan, of doing top.
Because I think he's like all of our favorite director, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
For sure.
I think we have different opinions too, because like I'm not a huge fan of Blue Velvet, and I know Mark, you love.
Yeah, you lean more towards Fire Walk with Me. If I'm not mistaken.
with Me, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It would be a mix. It wouldn't be like everybody's hitting the exact same things for sure. That's a good idea. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, I like that idea too.
We'll be having Jeff back for something, I'm sure, and so that's Stephen King too. We could
Stephen King would be awesome.
Dear God, yes, that'd be amazing.
Well, I'm writing that down. Good job, boys.
Good job, Dan.
Well, I would take us out, but I don't do the outro. Ronnie always does, because I never remember what to say.
First thing I got to say is, folks, go over and subscribe to the Dungeon Dive. Dan desperately needs 6,000 or 7,000 more subscribers. Get on over there.
Yeah, you're going to have to promote this on your show.
Yeah.
Get us some listeners.
Yeah.
I'll send you some of the audio or something, Dan, and you can create a wonderful video for your channel.
I will for sure, especially put it like on we have a forum now and the
awesome
Dungeon Dive Patreon. I'll put that up there.
Oh,
that's
cool.
Great.
I try to talk about other things on the Dungeon Dive, and usually people don't care.
Right, I understand. So, yeah.
They have a particular interest. Dan, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you. That was super fun. Yeah. Glad to catch up with you guys.
When you come down to visit again, we'll go to a book barn.
Definitely.
Check out what they have.
Get some Mexican food. Yeah, I'll bring Tomb Raider.
All of that. All of that. We're all going to dress like Lara Croft.
That's right.
It's going to be amazing. All right. Remember, folks, until we meet again, have fun. Definitely stay weird and definitely keep collecting.
That's right. What's wrong with puppets?
Before, after, before, after, before, after.
Cambridge and Washon is a Weirding Way Media podcast.